Everyday English Podcast.
By English Talking Today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to English Talking Today. I'm David.
And I'm Jane. So happy you're here with us today.
Yes, and before we get started, we have a small but important request. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, English Talking Today. Just look for the subscribe button and click it. It really helps us reach more learners just like you.
It does. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. You are amazing. Okay, David, are you ready for today's episode?
I am so ready. Today is going to be really fun, I think. We have a great episode planned.
We do. So today we are going to listen to a conversation between two friends, just two regular people talking about their day. And the reason we chose this topic is because this is exactly the kind of English you hear in real life. Not in textbooks, not in formal speeches, just normal, everyday conversation.
Right, exactly. And that's actually the hardest kind of English to understand sometimes, isn't it? Because people speak fast, they use expressions, they use informal words, and if you don't know those words, you can get a little lost.
Totally. So our job today is to help you not get lost. We are going to slow everything down, explain the vocabulary, and make sure you feel confident by the end of this episode.
Perfect. So before we jump into the dialogue itself, let's do what we always do here on English Talking Today. Let's preview some key vocabulary words. These are words and phrases you're going to hear in the dialogue. And if you understand them before you hear them, everything will make so much more sense.
Great idea. Okay, our first expression for today is spill the beans. Spill the beans. Say it with me. Spill the beans.
Spill the beans. So Jane, what does this mean? Because it sounds a little strange, right? Like, are we actually talking about beans, like food beans?
No, not food. So spill the beans is an idiom, and an idiom is a phrase where the words together mean something different from what they say individually. So spill the beans means to reveal a secret, to tell people something that was supposed to be kept private or confidential.
Oh, that's a great one. So, like, if you tell someone about a surprise birthday party that you weren't supposed to tell them about, you spilled the beans.
Exactly, you spilled the beans, you shared the secret. It's often used when someone accidentally or sometimes on purpose tells information that should have stayed private.
I like that. I feel like I've spilled the beans many times in my life. I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
Me neither, honestly. Okay, so our second expression is hit the sack. Hit the sack. Hit the sack.
Hit the sack. Okay, so again, no actual hitting and no actual sack, right?
Right. This one means to go to bed, to go to sleep. It's a very casual, informal way of saying, I'm going to sleep now. Like after a really long, tiring day, you might say, I just want to hit the sack.
I love that. I use that one all the time, actually. Like on a Friday night after a long week, the only thing I want to do is hit the sack early.
Same. Okay, so we have two key expressions for today. Spill the beans, which means to reveal a secret, and hit the sack, which means to go to sleep. Keep those in your mind as we go through today's episode.
Great. Now, before we play the dialogue, let's just have a quick chat, because here on English Talking Today, we don't just teach vocabulary. We talk to you like friends, you know?
Yes, we want you to feel relaxed. Learning English should be enjoyable. It shouldn't feel like a test.
Absolutely. So Jane, what's a funny thing that happened to you recently? Something small, just from daily life.
Oh gosh, okay, so this is a little embarrassing. I went to the supermarket last weekend and I saw this enormous display of mangoes and I thought, oh, I'll just grab a few, but I grabbed too many and I was trying to balance them all in my arms without a basket and they all fell on the floor, every single one, rolling everywhere.
Oh no, did people see?
Everyone saw. It was so embarrassing. But then this kind older lady came and helped me pick them up, which was really sweet.
That's a great story. I had a funny thing happen too. So I was on my way to meet a friend and I took what I thought was a shortcut through a park. But when I got there, there was some kind of outdoor festival happening with lots of stalls and people everywhere, and I couldn't find my way through. I just kept going in circles for like 20 minutes.
Oh no, David. Did you make it to your friend on time?
I did, but I was very sweaty and a little stressed by the time I arrived. Okay, so now let's listen to the main conversation for today. This is a dialogue between two friends. Listen carefully and try to notice the key expressions we just talked about. Don't worry if you don't catch everything the first time. We will go through it all together afterwards.
Right, just relax, listen, and enjoy.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, how was your day?
Oh, it was pretty good actually. You won't believe what happened at work today. My boss finally spilled the beans about the new project we've been assigned.
Really? What's it about?
It's a huge marketing campaign. We've got our work cut out for us, but it's going to be a game changer for the company.
That sounds exciting and daunting at the same time.
Yes, it really is. I've been burning the midnight oil to get a head start. Honestly, I can't wait to hit the sack tonight.
You deserve it. By the way, how's your dog doing?
Oh, Max, he's great. Although he did chew up my favorite shoes yesterday. I guess I should have taken him for a longer walk.
Classic Max. You know, sometimes I think you pamper him too much.
Guilty as charged, but he's just so lovable. Oh, and speaking of pets, did you hear about Sarah's cat?
No, what happened?
Apparently, her cat decided to take a nap inside the washing machine. She almost started the cycle with the cat inside.
Wow, that's scary. Cats do get into the strangest places.
Yeah, they do. Anyway, what about you? How was your day?
Pretty uneventful, to be honest. Just the usual grind. Although I did have a bit of a mix-up at the coffee shop this morning.
What happened?
I ordered a latte, but they gave me a mocha instead. It wasn't until I took a big sip that I realized something was off. I mean, it was delicious, but still.
That's not too bad. At least you got a free upgrade.
True, I guess it was a win-win situation. But then, on my way home, I got caught in the rain without an umbrella. I was soaked to the bone by the time I got back.
Sounds like one of those days. Hopefully tomorrow will be better.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, I've got to get going. Catch you later.
Definitely. Take care.
Okay, so that was our dialogue for today. What did you think, David?
I really liked it. It felt very natural and very real. Like these are the kinds of conversations people actually have every single day. Talking about work, talking about their pets, small funny stories from daily life.
Yes, and I think what's great about it is that even though the language is simple, there are so many useful expressions hidden inside. So let's break it all down now. Let's talk about the vocabulary. We have 4 key words to explain today.
Great. Let's start with the first one. The word is daunting. D-A-U-N-T-I-N-G. Daunting. Say it after me. Daunting.
Daunting. So when something is daunting, it means it seems very difficult, very big, maybe a little scary or overwhelming. Like you look at it and you think, oh wow, I don't know if I can do this.
Right. It's not impossible. It just feels big and a little bit intimidating. For example, starting a new job can feel daunting, or moving to a new city where you don't know anyone. That can feel very daunting.
Exactly. Here are a few more examples. The exam was so long that it felt daunting just to look at the question paper. Or learning a new language can seem daunting at first, but with practice, it gets easier.
Oh, I like that second one. And I think a lot of you watching right now probably know that feeling. English can seem daunting, but look at you. You're here, you're doing it. That's amazing.
It really is. Okay, our second word is uneventful. U-N-E-V-E-N-T-F-U-L. Uneventful. So let's think about this one. The base word is event, right? An event is something that happens, something notable.
Right. And the prefix un means not. So uneventful means nothing notable happened, nothing exciting or interesting, just a regular, ordinary, maybe even a little boring time.
Exactly. In the dialogue, one of the friends says their day was pretty uneventful. They mean it was just a normal day. Nothing special happened, and that's fine. Not every day needs to be exciting.
True. Some examples. My flight to Mumbai was completely uneventful. I just slept the whole way. Or the meeting was uneventful. We just went over the same things as last week.
Good examples. Okay, moving on. Our third word is pamper. P-A-M-P-E-R. Pamper. David, can you explain this one?
Sure. So to pamper someone means to give them a lot of special care and attention, to treat them very well, to maybe spoil them a little. It's usually used in a positive, affectionate way.
Right. Like in the dialogue, one friend says to the other, I think you pamper your dog too much, meaning the dog gets too many treats, too much attention, too much comfort.
And the friend says, guilty as charged, which is a fun way of saying, you're right, I do that and I know it.
I love that expression, guilty as charged. Okay, so some examples of pamper. She likes to pamper herself on weekends with a long bath and her favorite food. Or he pampers his younger sister by buying her gifts all the time.
And it doesn't have to be about people or pets. You can pamper yourself too, like going to a nice restaurant or taking a day to just rest and relax. That's pampering yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, and our fourth and final vocabulary word for today is mix-up. M-I-X-U-P. Mix-up. So a mix-up is a mistake or a misunderstanding where things get confused or muddled.
Right. In the dialogue, one friend orders a latte at the coffee shop but gets a mocha instead. That's a mix-up. The coffee shop made a mistake and gave her the wrong drink.
It's a very common word. You can have a mix-up with names, with orders, with dates, with directions. Basically, anytime there's a confusion and something goes wrong, you can call it a mix-up.
Some examples. There was a mix-up with our hotel booking and they gave our room to someone else. Or, sorry I'm late, there was a mix-up with the meeting time and I went to the wrong floor.
Good ones. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of our 4 vocabulary words. We have daunting, which means something that feels big, difficult, or overwhelming.
Then we have uneventful, which means nothing interesting or exciting happened.
Pamper, which means to treat someone with special care and lots of attention.
And mix-up, which is a mistake or confusion where things go wrong.
Perfect. Now let's look at the phrases, because this dialogue was full of really useful idioms and expressions that you can start using in your own conversations. Let's go through them one by one.
First one we already introduced. Spill the beans, to reveal a secret. My boss finally spilled the beans about the new project, so now everyone knows what was previously a secret.
Right, and you can use this in so many situations. Don't spill the beans about the party. She spilled the beans and now everyone knows. It's a very natural, casual expression.
Second one, hit the sack, to go to sleep. I can't wait to hit the sack tonight. Simple, casual, very common. You can also say, I'm going to hit the sack when you're saying goodnight to someone.
Third phrase is burn the midnight oil. Oh, I love this one. Burn the midnight oil. This means to stay up very late working on something, to work past your normal sleeping time.
So in the dialogue, one friend says, I've been burning the midnight oil to get a head start, meaning they've been staying up late, working hard, trying to prepare for the new project.
Yes, and this is such a relatable phrase. Students burn the midnight oil before exams. Writers burn the midnight oil to finish a story. Lots of people do this.
I definitely do this. Some examples. She burned the midnight oil finishing her report. Or, don't burn the midnight oil too often. It's not healthy.
That's true. It's good to work hard, but also good to get rest. Okay, and our fourth phrase is soaked to the bone. Soaked to the bone. This means to be completely, totally, extremely wet. Not just a little damp, but absolutely soaking.
Right. In the dialogue, the friend says, I was soaked to the bone by the time I got back because they got caught in heavy rain without an umbrella. The image is that the water soaked through all their clothes and reached all the way to their bones.
It's very vivid language, isn't it? It really helps you picture just how wet this person was.
Some examples. We forgot our umbrellas and were soaked to the bone after the walk. Or she jumped into the swimming pool with her clothes on and came out soaked to the bone.
Great image. Okay, so let's recap all four phrases. Spill the beans, hit the sack, burn the midnight oil, and soaked to the bone.
These are all really natural, really useful. And the great thing is, once you start noticing them, you'll hear them everywhere, in movies and songs and conversations.
Exactly, and the best way to remember them is to try using them yourself. So here's a little challenge for you. Pick one of these four phrases today and try to use it in a sentence. Write it in the comments section below. We read every comment and we would love to see your examples.
Yes, that's such a good challenge. Okay, now before we close today's episode, Jane and I want to have a little friendly debate.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Okay, so in the dialogue, there was a lot of talk about pets. The dog chewing up shoes, the cat nearly getting washed in the machine. So the big question is, are you a dog person or a cat person?
Oh, I am absolutely a cat person, 100%. Cats are so independent. They take care of themselves, they don't need constant attention, and they have such interesting personalities. Every cat is different.
I totally disagree. Dogs are the best. They are loyal, they're affectionate, they're always happy to see you. When you come home after a long day, your dog is at the door, tail wagging, so excited.
That's true, that's cute. But cats can be affectionate too. They just show it differently. And they're much less work. You don't have to walk them every day.
But walking a dog is good for you. You get exercise, you go outside, you meet other dog owners in the park. It's actually very social.
That's a fair point. I guess both have their advantages.
Right. And honestly, it probably just depends on your lifestyle. If you're very busy and you travel a lot, maybe a cat is better for you. If you love outdoor activities and want a companion to go everywhere with you, maybe a dog is better.
That's a very balanced way to look at it. Okay, so dear listeners, we want to know, are you team dog or team cat? Or maybe you have a completely different pet. Tell us in the comments below. We would genuinely love to know.
Yes, and if you have a funny pet story like the ones in today's dialogue, please share it. Those stories are always wonderful to read.
Okay, let's wrap up today's episode with a quick summary. Today we listened to a conversation between two friends talking about their day. Through that dialogue, we learned 4 vocabulary words: daunting, uneventful, pamper, and mix-up. And we practiced 4 great expressions: spill the beans, hit the sack, burn the midnight oil, and soaked to the bone.
All of these words and phrases are things real English speakers use in real conversations every single day. So the more you practice them, the more natural and fluent you will sound.
Exactly. And remember, the key to getting better at English is consistency. Try to listen to English a little every day. Try to use new words when you speak or write. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn.
That's so true. Every expert was once a beginner. And the fact that you are here, watching, listening, and learning, that already puts you ahead.
We're so proud of you. Okay, this is your reminder to subscribe to English Talking Today if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like and share it with a friend who is also learning English. It helps us so much, and it helps other learners find us too.
Yes, and come back soon because we have more great episodes coming. We have so many fun topics, conversations, vocabulary lessons, and more planned for you.
We cannot wait to see you next time. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep going.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.